Today is Friday. So Monday I'm going to take a trip. I'm going to go down to this campground called Flanders Beach. It's only, it's 2 hours from here. My friend's going to come and visit me and spend one night. So I needed a bed in my camper. So if you recall, I think it was like a year ago, it might have been longer, I put in this little storage thing right here and then the desk. And there's also some stuff down there you can't see, like, and this was actually a fair amount of work, but it needs to come out because I don't like traveling alone. I don't like going anywhere by myself, and I would prefer to have somebody with me when I'm somewhere. So I'm going to tear it all out, and I feel weird because it took me so long to do it, and this was for me it was a big job because I'm not a pro at this woodworking stuff. But it kills me that I got to tear it all out. But if I don't tear it all out, I have nowhere for anybody to sleep. I'm leaving Monday morning, so I don't have much time. And I decided that the best way to procrastinate would be to make videos and put it off even longer and turn it into even more of a crisis. But anyway, let me tell you how I got the bed. I measured the distance and I got the dimensions for that space over there, right? Last night, I wrote down what I thought the boards were going to be that I need to order. So you put the order in at Lowe's and then you just drive up there and pick it up. So last time I ordered, the wood for this project, I ordered some of the wrong stuff and I had to wind up taking it back. And like nobody would tell me in advance exactly what I needed to order or if I was making a mistake. But as soon as I got the wrong thing, they'd say, well, why'd you get that? And yeah, because nobody would tell me before I actually got it. So I texted my neighbor Mike and I said, this is the list of the stuff I want to get. What do you think? I told him what the project was going to be. And he said it didn't look right. And then he said, well, I've got a headboard over here that Shannon had me build and she doesn't want it. So you're welcome to have it if you want it. He said, and I said, well, I'm maybe not going to put a headboard on there. And then a few minutes later, he says, well, you sure you don't want to just look at it just to be sure? And I said, okay, I will, of course, go over there and look at it. I said, okay, I'll meet you out in your shop. So, so I went and met him at his shop. And so I explained what I wanted. And then he says, well, would it be okay if it was just like a 2x4 frame with just a single OSB on the front? I said, yeah. I said, I don't need anything fancy. I said, I just need something, I want to say for one night, but I know I'm going to leave it here forever. I'm never going to change it again. And he said, well, I can just do that for you. I said, really? So I didn't even have to order wood or anything. I said, he worked all day and he works in Durham. That's a solid hour drive. So he left here at 5 a.m. that morning and he didn't get home till 6 at night. So he worked all day and then did all that driving, and then he was willing to make me a bed. And I kind of felt bad about asking him, but he offered, and I kept saying, well, I know you're probably, tired. And all. He says, no, I can do it for you. So he happened to have the wood already up in his little loft, and he had exactly the right wood. Now that's almost spooky. Even the piece of wood that, like, it's called the OSB, the flat piece of wood, it was almost measured exactly without even cutting it. It was almost exactly right. It was like 1 inch off. He only had to cut 1 inch. And then he said, the thing about it is, he says, I've got some legs too in the trunk of my car. He said, I picked them up from a yard sale. He said, I don't need them, but I just got them because it was such a good deal. And he said, he said, I couldn't resist them. They're metal legs, actually nice legs. They're adjustable and everything. And I said, well, sounds like you got everything. If you don't mind, I mean, sure. So I sat there and watched him. It took him about a half hour. And he knows, see, the difference about him is that, like, if I'm doing a project and I need to cut wood, I'll measure it and then I'll cut it. And then I'll get ready to put it together and it'll be wrong. That's just the way it is with me. But when he does it, it's exactly right every time. So, but he just, cut wood and put it all together, and he had it done in like 30 minutes. And he helped me bring it over, and it's in the garage right now. It's not a super fancy bed, but I did not want a super fancy bed. I just wanted one that would be okay and that I could build from. Because last night was Thursday night. I'm so glad I went over there and asked him about the wood, because they just left. It's Friday now. They just left for the weekend. So see, I'm leaving Monday morning. I wouldn't have had his assistance at all with anything had I waited. So you see, it all worked out exactly perfectly. I mean, it worked out that, rockets in here. It worked out that, I wound up going over there. It worked out that he had the little legs. It worked out that the OSB was exactly the right size. It worked out that he had the other pieces. It's like it all was, I don't want to sound grandiose, but it was almost like it was all meant to be. It was like everything was just worked perfectly for this to happen. My project has been completed. I put the bed in, and I happen to just have this. It's unused. It's a kind of a rug, but it's never been used before. I had that stored in my camper, and I found this. I forgot I had bought this. This folds out. It can be a sleeper if you want, because I've already ordered another mattress thing that'll fill up that entire. That's too small. See, if I just folded this out and asked somebody to sleep on it, you see that wouldn't be very comfortable. It's too narrow. So I've ordered one that is the full size. So I'm pretty proud of it. Pretty proud of myself, if I say so myself. I also have one other thing I'll show you. But I also have this. And this will make it much more comfortable. And this is a single size. So this will fit over this entire thing. So I think I've got a pretty good setup here for it to be pretty comfortable. And I'm really happy, because I have just turned this camper into, used to be a desk here and a little storage thing. So now I have a bed here. So my goal is to get a new camper and to donate this camper to the people in Western North Carolina that are still where it's still in tents. It's living in tents. So that would be what I would like to do. But I need to win the lottery again to get a new camper. So just waiting on that, I'm sure that'll happen. So yeah, so I think I'm pretty happy. I got my space ready, sturdy. This would hold 500 pounds. I mean, this is a good sturdy space, and I think it'll be a good sleeping space. Oh yeah, I also have a curtain here that lets you separate off the sleeping area. So it comes all the way around like that. So, I mean, I think I got it pretty nice. I think I got it set up pretty nice. I'm happy. I'm happy with myself. I'm just happy to be able to be showing you camping stuff and camper stuff instead of just doing promotional videos on my music. Because I have a feeling that you all find that boring. But can you blame me? I mean, if you put some music out, I mean, do you really blame me for doing promo videos on it? Because if people don't hear it, they're not going to be interested in buying it. So anyway, won't go into too much of that because I don't want to bore you. Anyway, that's it for this video. Bye.